about the show. Smelling like some money. Spent another hour. Thinking about some money. These niggas want the fame. Bitch, I want some money. See, ain't nothing changed. I just want some money. Before them hating niggas and them hating hoes, I can't forget. I've been on that ABR all night. You know I'm lit. She say, yo, your neck sick. Look like it need a jigsaw. I forget one thing about him trying to run the track. I said my neck ain't killing. Wrist ain't killing. Hop up out this motherfucker smelling like some millions. Right hand cross your arm. Other hand to the ceiling. Say, bitch, I was born broke. Just know I'm dying with these millions. Wrist ain't popper. Keep that chopper. Open tape surgery with them squares. I play doctor. Go to sleep thinking. Wake up thinking. Hey, and young when I rest to all my niggas get a check. Bitch, you know I'm about it. And you know I got it. Like my cars, like my bitches, and my bitches, they exotic. No need for a money counter, we'll just storm through it. Count the tens and the fives, we'll just let them one do it. I said I want that paper, need that paper. Hustling in my veins, I just bleed that paper. Nothing on my mind but some money, Las Vegas. When you run it up, old bitches catch vapor. I just want a check, I just need a check. See, I can't even lie right now, I'm thinking about a check. Put some in my safe, put it around my neck. That's why I'm always on my grind, cause I'm trying to
whoever said money was the root of all evil never had none. And rappers that say record sales don't matter never went platinum. I'm not a gold rapper, but these women call me Magnum. And the baddest bitches live in Atlanta, just in case you never had one. 99 problems and money will solve most of them. Sisters having issues, my penis will solve both of them. Haters taking shots, I pop some bottles and toast to them. Got a DUI, bought a Phantom, now someone chauffeur some. Money don't buy happiness, but buy a place to sleep. I'd rather cry up in my mansion than to cry out on the street. Used to exercise daily, but fuck it, I'm really fed up. Now the only exercise I do is run the check.
I said I want that paper, need that paper. Hustling in my veins, I just bleed that paper. Nothing on my mind but some money, Las Vegas. When you run it up, old bitches catch vapor. I just want a check, I just need a check. See, I can't even lie right now, I'm thinking about a check. Put some in my safe, put it around my neck. That's why I'm always on my grind, cause I'm trying to let a check.
One thing about it, nigga, I'ma run a check up. Will gang sick, yeah, my shit might need a check up. See, first you get the money, then you get the haters. Don't let that shit distract you, gotta be focused on your paper. 100 for a 16, you pay 16 for a kilo. Lord bless the trap and hallelujah to my Migos. You tryna get a check and on the check, right up on my bitch and ghost, got one jet like her. Chopper shoot like a jet fighter, touch more keys than a typewriter. I was in the kitchen out of school, caught that shit attention. I'm the starting player out of 5, you was on the benches. Yeah, coach got it, Calipari shit. Fans ran, that's some scary shit. I got old money, but the new money, I don't want none but them Harriet. Tuck me.
I said I want that paper, need that paper. Hustling in my veins, I just bleed that paper. Nothing on my mind but some money, Las Vegas. When you run it up, old bitches catch vapor. I just want a check, I just need a check. See, I can't even lie right now, I'm thinking about a check. Put some in my safe, put it around my neck. That's why I'm always on my grind, cause I'm trying to run up a check. Hey.
What is up? What is up? It is your boy Woods. Thank y'all for tuning in for Destined for Greatness podcast. Y'all seen what it is, man. I got a very special guest today, man. Lansing MI, a musical legend. Have worked with the likes of Migos, Ludacris, personal DJ for 50 Cent, Jeezy, Kash Doll, Mulatto, Chains, Gucci Man, Jeezy, Yo Gotti. Yo, is there anybody official Ciroc boy? Hold on, all of this, man, he's coming from where? The L. Yes, sir. L-Town Zone. Mr. Talk to Me himself, Kelvin Donald, DJ Infamous is in the building. What is going on, my brother?
Talk to me, yo, D Woods. What's up, baby?
What's good with you, man? Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, bro. And listen, I'm happy to be on your show. You know what I'm saying? This is representing the hometown. I see you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I see you healthy. I see you shining. I see you working. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, man?
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching you. I watch everything. I see you.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
You see me? That's what's up. I see you, sir, and I've been watching since the young youth, man. And I really salute you for everything that you've done, man. You've broke a lot of barriers from people from our hometown, like we was talking about in the back, man. So, man, like I say, every show, nobody can introduce themselves better than they can introduce themselves. So for the world that might not know you, please introduce yourself, sir.
What up? It's your boy DJ Infamous. Talk to me, representing that south side of Lansing. You know what I'm saying? Down here in Atlanta, Georgia, doing my thing. Been out here 16 strong years, doing my thing, representing the crib, taking everything I can to the next level, and showing people that from Lansing, yes, you can make it out, and yes, you can do big things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here.
You here, man. So let's just get it started, man. Let's start see how this thing's going, man. Because this is all, my show is testimony based, man. I love for people to be able to tell their story that can inspire somebody else that might be following you. And you know what I'm saying? You might be a young DJ out there that's from Lansing that is seeing Infamous doing his thing. So I just want to know, man, what's some of the advice that you would give after you answer, how did you get started?
Let me see. Oh, you said answer that after I get started.
Yeah, man. I want to know how you got started. That's how you got started. Let's start right from the meat and potatoes.
All right. Well, like growing up, man, I wasn't, I played back. Of course, we played on the same teams before, but I played basketball and sports and stuff like that. But I wasn't like the dopest. I was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I was all right.
You couldn't beat me. You couldn't beat me, but it's all good.
Yo, D, you know good and well you couldn't stop my jump shot, G. But anyway, but like growing up. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, I played sports because the homies played sports. I was around because, like you got DeVell Hoskins live across the street. You got, Richard Carter stay up the street, and all these athletic, my friends that got these athletic abilities growing up at like elementary school on up. Like I'm around them, and they excel in their sports. You know what I'm saying? Like DeVell Hoskins was the man basketball. Richard Carter played 3 sports. I'm talking about from kindergarten all the way.
Yes, he did, man.
Super athlete. So, just imagine like these are my best friends coming up in school. So it's like, they kicking my ass every sport. But when it came to the DJing part, man, like, I saw the movie Juice. My mom took me to see the movie Juice. And from, this is like 92. So like right then and there, I was like, yo, what is that? What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? And fast forward to 95, my sister at the time was dating DJ Cut Nice.
What up, though?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. You on Destined for Greatness. What a surprise. We have my brother DJ Cut Nice in the building. Surprise, Infamous, man.
What up, D Woods? What up, Cal?
So, yeah, I want him to finish the story, man. So how did this happen, man?
He laughing.
You like that one? You like that one, Inf?
I like that. Yo, real talk, I like that. That was hard right there.
That's what's up, man.
Man, because I can't tell the story without Cuddy because I don't know what he was thinking at the time, but you gotta think for me to even ask him about this stuff. It was like I'm not gonna say it came out of nowhere, but it kind of came out of nowhere because. I was just around him because he was, dating my sister at the time. So it was like, it wasn't like I was talking about it every time I was around him. I would just get around him, hear the conversations about DJing. And then the times that I used to go to his house, I would be sitting there, of course, not touching anything because he'd tell me not to. But, I'll just be sitting there. I'm like, dang. So he got all these records. And then I just see him doing this thing. And I'll just be sitting there watching him. Like I would just watch and watch and watch, and I'd be like, "Yo, this is." So just imagine you watch Juice. You don't know nobody. I think I'm 12 when I'm watching him in his room and Cut Nice in his room. I'm 12. Juice was like 2-3 years before. So I don't know nobody that I can physically watch and touch that's DJing. Like I don't know nobody that I could be like, yo, that's what I saw on Juice until I got to his room. Now I get to his room. I remember like it was yesterday. I get to his room, and you know, he's older than me, so he's just doing his thing. He got his homeboy in there. I think his brother was coming in and out, and I'm just sitting on a crate, just watching. You know what I'm saying? And then the next time I come over, I'm just watching. And then the next time I come over, I ask a question. You know what I'm saying? I think I asked him like, yo, why do you do the thingy in the middle? Something like that. I know I'm like 11, 12, yo. Like, I'm 11, 12 years old. Like, my son right now is 11. And so I'm 11, 12 looking at him like, and I'm not even expressing that I'm like the way I watch Juice is like the reason why I'm just glued to him. Like the thing is, Brian don't even know. He probably don't even know this. I never talked to him about it. It's kind of like one day I was like, yo, I want to start DJing. I asked him, how do I do it? And this is on the phone now. Now, this is after I didn't watch them already. I'm on the phone, and I think it was like my birthday or something like that. Or no, I just had my birthday.
Yeah.
And he was like, now this is what I did do. He had just bought some expensive turntables called Technics 1200s. And if anybody knows, let me see, Brian, at the time, you probably had to be like 17, if I'm about 17, something like that.
Yeah, I like 18.
Yeah, he was 18. Yo, for anybody that's 18 years old, back in those days, one turntable is $500.
Right.
So, ain't no telling what Cuddy had to do to, because he played sports too. Like, I don't remember him having no job, but just whatever he had to do to get two of those was a big thing. Like in the DJ world, and you 18, $1,000 for turntable is a lot of money.
Word.
Right? So he got those, and he was like, yo, I just got some new ones. So you can get mine. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, how much? And he was like, I don't know. And then he was like, I was like, yo, I got $20 from my birthday money. You know what I'm saying? Take that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right. So that was like my first transaction in DJing. Right there.
So what you remember of it, Cut? It's like, what's some of your memory?
Let me finish. Because I know some people was like, well, yo, you $11, $20, but let me not stop right there. He gave me the turntables, and he gave me a full crate of records. So that $20 wasn't, if $20 was just on some, just because he actually looked out, because 2 turntables and a full crate of records. And here's the thing, he gave me half reggae, which, I don't even know at the time, I don't even know what reggae is. But I'm glad he gave them to me because it was pieces in there that when I started learning how to DJ and learning the genres of music, I had Buju Banton, I had Capleton, I had Beanie Man, I had records that I later on needed anyway.
Right.
And then I had, he gave me One More Chance, Biggie, the 12-inch, Juicy, Biggie, Mobb Deep, Shook Ones, Ain't No Nigga, Jay-Z. I'm talking about this is like, I still got those records to this day. These are the singles, not the album, the singles with the instrumentals, all of that. Like, he gave me Duck Down, Buckshot. Hold on, there's another one too that was real popular. And he gave me a Dr. Dre. What's the first single, Cuddy?
It was G Thing. You had that, and on the flip side, it was Bitches Ain't Shit.
Yes, the singles. Like, so he didn't just give me turntables $20. He gave me some records. He was like, well, yo, you gonna need these to, start DJing, whatever. And then I came to his house, got the turntables. One was a belt drive, and the other one was a direct drive. And then I took them, and then check this out. Before Cuddy goes, I took the turntables to the crib, set them up the way Cuddy set them up, and then realized I had no mixer.
The number one thing that you need.
Yeah, but Cuddy, the old mixer that he had, he was still using. So and for anybody that's listening, this was a great way to learn how to put your equipment together. So I told Cuddy, I'm like, yo, I need a mixer. He was like, well, you gotta go get one. All right. So where do I go to get one? You can say, go to Radio Shack. Cool. So it's like I'm asking the questions. It ain't like I'm letting Cuddy just here
all the way. Yeah.
Because he's dating. He's dating my sister, and I'm a little brother. He's like, go get it. Go get this. What you got to go get, and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like Cuddy would teach me from afar. Like he would be like, yo, this is what you need to do, and then figure it out. And that always was the best way, because when people would be like, yo, can you teach my son how to DJ? Can you teach them how to do this? I'd be like, nah, I'll tell you where to go get it, and you go figure it out yourself. Because within, I was 11, by 12 years old, before I turned 13, I knew how to do everything by figuring it out. Like I didn't have to blow Cuddy phone up, because I'm like, you know what? He would want me to figure it out as a DJ. He'd want me to learn how to put the speakers together. He would want me to learn that, because I've seen him do it. It was stuff he was doing in his room. He didn't call nobody to ask them for no.
He had to figure it out. That's how it is with engineering.
I ain't never called nobody to be like, yo, do this. He figured it out. So me trying to be like him, I figured it out. So that way, when I go to him, he'll be like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. That's my man. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Cuddy, do you remember any of that from the early day? From that any of that?
I do, man. I just like you remember it like from yesterday, man, because I just pictured the whole thing, and I was just like, man. I remember when you first came in there and you saw that, and you was just like like a little kid, like, oh man, and then it just went, after that it was a wrap. After that, I was just like, you know what, I'm about to hook him up. And I remember telling you, I was like, because I remember your birthday just passed and mine just passed. It was that same week.
Yep.
And so I was like, because see, around that time was when I got my 12s. And then that's when I was like, well, I don't need these. And then that's the first thing I was like, yeah, I'm going to get these a cow. So then that's when I made the call, and I was like, man, he just don't know what he about to get.
Yeah.
So
no, you said that to me.
Yeah.
You said that to me. You was like, yo, you don't know what you about to get. So when I got to his house, now, no, I had to get a ride to his house. It ain't like I'm driving. Yeah, like, you got to say I was 11, 12. Yo. So I get to the house, and he gave me the crates and the turntables. I'm like, oh, man. So it's like I'm in the game with the crate of records. I just had to learn how to put them
make
together.
it happen.
Yeah.
Man,
so
what a wonder. Go ahead, Ken.
And I remember when you asked me, you was like, man, how can I get good like that? How can I get like how you? And I had told you, I said, yo, just practice. Don't even worry about it. I said, just put in the work. It's going to come to you. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, it ain't never going to happen. It's just that's just like anything you do.
Yeah, you told me that I was rushing.
Yeah.
Like I was, I'm talking about like that quick. Like he told me that, but at that age, I was just trying to do what he was doing. Like whatever I saw him doing.
You were trying to emulate that, offer it.
Try to jump to it, and he was like, hey, don't rush. And that's what I was doing, and I wasn't learning. Like I was so busy trying to mimic what he did. I'm like, well, damn, I ain't even learned how to mix the records together first, or even learn how to, put one record on and then use the crossfader to go to the other record. I was just trying to, do what he was doing, because it was like, yo, it's crazy. Like to be 18, I don't think a lot of people like, that's younger than me that know Cuddy know, like, yo, at 18, this nigga was 17, 18, he was really nice to be that age, man. Like me just thinking about DJs that are like in their 20s or 30s, yo, Cuddy was dope to be a teenager, man. Like he was doing stuff that grown men to this day can't even do.
Man, he's a legend, man. I'm telling you right now, Cut Nice, Lansing legend, hands down.
Look, that's why I ain't never seen nothing like it. That's why I'm glad that my first taste of it was somebody that was really dope as hell. Like it got to the point where, yo, like I would tell you how dope it was. Like 8th grade, like I'm DJing, here and there. I did my first real big party. Richard Carter, he had a party in his basement. But before that, I used to go to Rich and have his cassette tapes. I would take the back then you could the labels come with your cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So I would be like, yo, every time he dropped the tape, he would give me one.
You put your
I would
name on
take
it.
his tape, block his name out with the label, put my now. No, I ain't had no name yet, so I just put Calvin on there. And then I'd go to school like, yeah, see, I told you I was gonna get dope. You know what I'm saying? Mother was like, yo, that's you, that's you. Like, well, you know. And then look, Richard Carter, my brother Richard Carter, who like seen me with the practicing, and Richard was the one that told me I was whack, like off the rip. He was like, yo, you whack. That ain't you. I was just in your bedroom yesterday. None of that. And then he was like, man,
He called you out.
yeah, and he's
Called
like,
you out.
Matter of fact, that's Brian Tate.
Oh, he totally called you out.
Yeah, like he was like Richard every day. Richard was like, because he'd see me, because after school, this was my thing. I couldn't do no DJing until I did my homework, because my mom didn't like the noise. So Richard would be right there with me before he went home. So I'd try to impress Richard. And Richard would be like, okay, yo, that don't sound right. Okay, that's whack. And so for me to go from whack to the next day, blending and scratching, sound like I'm a pro, you know what I'm saying? He called me out, you know what I'm saying? Richard was my first hard critic. Like, he hurt my feelings like almost every day, bro. Like, for real. You know what I mean? And
Hey, that drove you though, man. That drove you to where you are though.
It did, because I wanted to impress Cuddy, and I wanted to, you know, go back to him and be like, yo, this is the progress. So this is what I'm doing. So every time he gave me a tape, I'd listen to it. I listened to the transitions. I'd be like, okay, yo, how can I make my shit sound like that? And then I'd be like, oh, what is he doing? I'm like, I'm gonna call him. Like, nah, I ain't gonna call him. I'm gonna just figure it out. Because when I do call him, I want him to be like, okay, I see you. You feel me? Like, it was always like a let me show him what I learned. You feel me?
That's fire, man. Look, Cuddy, thank you so much for falling through, man. We continue the interview with Brother Infamous real quick, man. But look, thank you for falling through. Thank you. Hey, y'all, check out the interview I'm going to have with Cut Nice, man. It's going to be an epic interview, man. Thank you again, brother, for showing up.
Well, I'm tuned into that one.
For sure.
I ain't gonna front. I think I've asked Cuddy before I met him how he got into DJing, but I think I was so young when I asked him. I probably don't even remember that story. So
we gonna get in. We gonna get into all of that.
Before I got to him, I gotta hear that part, because I know, Cuddy, you told me before, but I don't remember. I'm tuned in. I gotta hear that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, now, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, no problem, D Woods. All right,
All right, boy.
Please. Yes, sir. So we back at it. At it. So that's where the story is at right now. You was young, working with Cuddy, you know what I'm saying? You looking at him, wanted to emulate it, you know what I'm saying? So when did you start taking the youngest in charge? When did that title apply to you?
We skipped some steps. That title ain't come for a long time, man. Now, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what built me for the youngest in charge. And I'm gonna tell you what built me. I'm gonna tell you what got me prepared for the whole everything you see now.
Yes, sir.
So with Richard telling me I'm whack every day, you know, I'm practicing every day. Like, you know, it got to the point where sports started going down and DJing started going up for me. You know what I'm saying? I played sports, but I didn't play sports at probably the best of my ability, because DJing just kind of took over. So Richard Carter tells me, he's like, yo, you know, I'm about to throw a party in my basement. So I'm like, oh, word? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's like, yeah, I want you to DJ it. I'm like, all right. So then we like, okay, that's when I realized I didn't have loud speakers. I just had little small boom boxes. So then I'm like, well, damn, I got to get some speakers. So, you know, Richard's mom, may she rest in peace, Mary Carter, she was like, she'll get some speakers. So then I'm like, all right. Then I had to learn how to plug the speakers up. So it's all good. So she gets the speakers. Richard says he's gonna throw this party. Now, note, Richard Carter threw a party in his basement, and you know, listen, I'm in 8th grade now. You know, a party in 8th, you know, your party popping when you see freshmen and sophomores in high school at an 8th grade party. Party was cracking. I'm DJing.
How'd you do?
For me being 12 years old, I think I did pretty good.
Cool.
Let me tell you what happened. So I got, you know, the music, I'm accumulating the music. I had no DJ name. So the day before, Richard goes, you know, he was like, yo, so you gonna go as DJ Calvin? What's your DJ name gonna be? right? And I was like, damn, I don't know. I was like, I've been DJing for like 3-4 months, practicing in my room, and I ain't even thinking no
No
name.
DJ name yet.
No name. So then I was like, yo, you got to help me think of a name, yo, because I don't know. So me and Richard sat in my basement. No, we sat in my bedroom and we looked at like titles on records. So like, let's say it was a Mobb Deep record. So we'd be like, okay, DJ Mobb, DJ Deep, DJ Mobb Deep. It was a Jay-Z record, DJ J, DJ's. Like it was just stuff around the room. And we're writing all this down. We're writing it all down, right? So we got a list of like 50 names, right? And so then I think the last 4 that really stuck was either DJ Smooth, DJ C Smooth, DJ Cal Dons, because I'm Calvin Donald. And then
that was cool. That one was cool.
Yeah, and it was DJ Infamous. And the Infamous was from a Mobb Deep record because I had a majority of Mobb Deep records.
Infamous Mobb Deep.
So we got those last 4. So me and him, go through them. And so the best one was Infamous. So we was like, I was like, Infamous is all right, but I don't know. I was like, I'll change it after the party. Right? So Richard was like, all right, let's go with that. So then we take all my equipment. Okay, like in the movie House Party, where they go to Bilal Martin's crib to get all his equipment?
Yes.
That's what we're doing at my house now, right? So Richard's brother, Kevin Carter, we put all the crates and records and equipment in. We get to Richard's house. So I'm DJ Infamous for the night. I DJ the party. Party was dope. His mom let it go till like 1 o'clock in the morning, which
y'all was turned.
Yeah, I mean, it was dope because Richard's parents was upstairs. You know what I'm saying? And it was like we had food, we had all sodas. It was a nice vibe. When I started seeing sophomores in high schools coming, that's when I was like, "Oh, this thing is rocking." So, then the next that following Monday, everybody know me as Calvin or Miss Donaldson or something like that. But then there's some kids that I don't really talk to like that. They called me. It was like Infamous, yo. That party was dope that Richard threw. And so when he called me that, I was like, oh, well, I might as well go with it.
Let's go. Let's go.
And from then on, that's what the whole DJ Infamous name came from. It came from just that story right there.
Wow. So, you was DJing at a young age. When you got to high school, man, you was known for actually being infamous for throwing the parties.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know what it was? I needed to stand out, man. Like my crew, the BFL crew, like everybody was somebody as far as like sports or grades or, like that's all we had in our crew was everybody either played football heavy, basketball heavy, track heavy, or your grades were super,
Busted,
like Kevin Hollis, Andre Tyus, David Bill, they all had straight A's and they, you know what I'm saying? And then there's just me. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the best basketball player. I started playing football the junior year. And I only
played football at all.
I played football junior year and senior year. And the only reason why I played is because again, majority of my friends is playing. So just look at it like, you hang, you D Brown, Jody, Pill G,
my
like
guys.
These are my, we in a crew, but they're not making me feel like I'm not, as popular as they are. Like I'm popular, but I didn't have my thing. Like I didn't have
your own lane yet.
So the DJing thing was my thing that made me stand out in my crew. So they encouraged me to keep going. And then for me, I just wanted to take it to the next level. So my thing was like, okay, I'm DJing. I'll DJ everybody's house party. You know what I'm saying? So I started getting booked for house parties.
Sure did.
Like house parties. Then the house parties thing turned into, getting, shout the war skills, getting guest spots on the radio. And then that turned to doing the proms or doing pep rallies, doing senior picnics. Like I did Everett's, I did Sextons, I did Easterns. It just started, it just started going. And then next thing you know, I'm DJing the YMCA, the Let Centers parties, and
just blowing up.
It just keeps going, man. Yeah, and then by junior year, I'm in there. That I'm a DJ, and I got jacked too. I got jacked
Somebody got you for the equipment?
Yeah, I got jacked. I don't know if a lot of people know about that. I got jacked in my junior year of high school.
I did not.
I mean, I kind of kept it. People that knew, but I kind of kept it low. I was out of school for a week off of that.
Wow.
I forgot the girl name. You know, so I say her name too, but I forgot her name. So look, I never did parties on the north side. I always did parties on the west side, south side, east side, but never did parties on the north side like that. So I forgot her name, but she hired me to DJ a house party of hers after it was either after an Eastern Sexton game, one of them. And you know, I'm with my crew, you know what I'm saying? But with my crew, I'm like 8 deep. I always rode deep everywhere I went. You know what I'm saying? I'm DJing in the basement. The party's in the basement upstairs, but the DJing part is in the basement. And at the end of the night, okay, there was like a back door of her basement that I didn't know of. At the end of the night, everybody go upstairs. You know, I'm you know, chasing chicks, and you know, my homies is, you know, everybody chasing girls. End of the night, so I come back downstairs, and my turntables and mixer was gone.
What?
So I looked around like, yo, and there was the back door open, and somebody got me for my turntables. Now, what they didn't get me was they didn't get my records, because that was under the table.
So they just actually got the turntables and the speakers.
No, they got the No, they didn't get the speakers neither. They got the turntables and the mixer. So I'm like, what? So I'm looking like, so I go upstairs. You know, I'm looking all around, see what the hell happened. You know, that was a lesson learned. You know, don't leave your equipment while you working. That was my first lesson of learning that, because I'm a kid. I'm 15. I'm not thinking. I'm 15, 16. I'm not thinking that's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's thinking doing the party.
Yeah, the party's over with. Everybody outside, you know, everybody in the front lawn talking. You know, you could go on. I'm not thinking anybody gonna take the equipment. You know, but it was back then I used to blame the girl, but me knowing what I know now, it was my fault because I left my business. You know what I'm saying? Or I didn't have nobody watch it for me. So, you know, that was a lesson learned, man. And, you know, it devastated me. I couldn't go to school for about a week because I was, you know, my mom, I couldn't do it. Like, people that knew. But here's the thing. I forgot the girl's name, but you know what she did? After I was complaining to her and all, I'm like, who you got at your party? And that's why I don't do parties on the north side. Like, I was going crazy, man. You know what she did? Every week, she gave me some money to replace my equipment.
Wow, that was real, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, every week, I'd bump into her at lunchtime. She's like, hey, Calvin, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. Here go. You know, every week, she would give me some money. Now, here's the dope part. Now, my mom and my dad, they really didn't understand what I was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, before 15. My dad, when he got involved is when I started getting checks from like the Let Center and the YMCAs and stuff like that. So then, you know, my dad's an accountant. So that's when he stepped in like, oh, okay, so you're getting paid from this. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
He some money. Okay, let's talk.
And then, you know, my mom was like, okay, well, he ain't in no trouble. So whatever this DJing thing is, you know, keep doing it. And my mom, she put insurance on all my equipment.
Oh, so you got protected.
It was protected. So not only did a big ass check come to the house.
You was getting paid every week.
No. Look, my mom put my turntables under insurance. And so when I'm crying, like I'm hot, bro. Like my feelings is hurt. I'm like, Mom, my career's over. Who would do this to me? You know what I'm saying? I'm a teen DJ trying to come up, Who would disrespect me like this? I'm going in. And my mom was like, yo, don't even worry about it. She was like, I put your turntables under our insurance, and they should be sending us back. We'll get you some brand new turntables, some even better ones. So my mom got a check came home for like $700.
What?
About $700.
$700. So basically, you went and got brand new stuff.
No, I went and bought brand new mixer, turntables, and I went back to school with my chest poked out. Like, all right,
like, yeah, y'all trying to hold me down now. Look,
right. And then what I did was, like, instead of 4 or 5 homies coming with me, because you know my friends. Okay, now this is my friends. My friends would always want to come with me every time to do a party. You know, they get in free and all that. But I told them, like, yo, all y'all gotta do is help me carry these crates. Help me carry the crates. Gucci, come on. So instead of having 4 or 5, every time I went to DJ, it was 8.
Oh, you was deep.
Every time I went, I'd set it up like, yo, this is where we at tonight. And my crew is 17. There's 17 of us. But at least out there 17, at least 8 or 9 was with me every time I DJ. Because I was like, yo, that's not happening again. Not happening. And I stopped doing house parties after that too.
He was like, nah, no more Bav. I ain't doing that no
The
more.
house party tour was over with after that point. You know what I'm saying? And and then going forward, like, my name just started growing in high school. Like, went from the whole Calvin. People still call me Calvin, but then, when it was time to be infamous, you know what I'm saying? People respected that and would call me infamous, and it was dope.
So transitioning, now you're out of high school, man. Now it's time for you to go into college, right?
Yeah.
So you're ready. You're searching for schools, man. You land at Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
I wouldn't visit Alabama A&M. They were recruiting me for football. I went down there for a week to go visit, with David Welcome, RIP, my brother, you know what I'm saying? We went down there and visited. But you end up going down there, and that's really when things got started. So if you could, start the story off from your college years being DJ Infamous down in Alabama.
All right. Well, one, my oldest sister was in school. She went to Kentucky State, and their tuition was pretty high. You know what I'm saying? It was a real good black school. So, I ain't gonna say I caught the short end of the stick, but I had to go somewhere that was affordable. I wanted to go to Howard because that was the #1 school for communications, but we couldn't. It was just too high. Marlon Turner and Sareem Lastabay, went there, and they would always, like, every time Marlon Turner, my cousin.
That's my guy too. That's my homie.
I'd always, talk to him, and he'd be like, "Yo, you got to come down here." Like Marlon would tell me, and then Sareem Lastabay, he would tell me too, like, "Yo, you got to come to A&M. Is this, is that?" So I got accepted, and my mom said we can afford that, we could do that. You know what I'm saying? And I knew 2 people already down there, and in a way, my mom was the reason behind that, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, I don't want to leave. I got a teen club in Lansing. I'm doing Michigan State parties. I got on the radio, and I'm good. I don't need to leave. You know what I'm saying? And my mom
was thinking about staying home. You was thinking about staying at Michigan State or LCC or something.
I didn't even want to go to school, man. I was just going.
Oh, you about to just DJ?
Yeah, I was just like, man, I just DJ. I'm making some money. Look, I'm making some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is what's up. I'm popping. In my head, you know what I'm saying? And then my mom was like, nah, you need to get away from here. Like, it was certain people that we knew that was just doing, this is 2000. So there's people that we knew, friends, families, close to family, relatives, all that. They was just doing the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was like, you need to go away and learn to be a man and learn, responsibility. And, I'm a mama's boy, man. Like, I love my mama. Mama. And my mama was like, my mom was like, you need to, you need to go to college somewhere. You need to go to school outside of Michigan. So then I'm like, all right. And then here's the thing. She said, I decided to go to Alabama A&M, and she would not let me take my DJ equipment for the first semester until she saw my grades. So the first semester of me going to A&M, I wasn't even.
So you weren't even DJing. You were just down there schooling it.
Man, I'm Calvin. I'm Calvin. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm telling people I'm a DJ and I'm infamous. They like, where your DJ equipment? I ain't had none of that. So grades was good. I had an on-campus job working, so I'm making some money. My mom was like, all right, you could take your turntables back down with you. Now, at this point, Marlon Turner has a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, he moved off from he didn't stay on the dorms his sophomore year. He has a house. And so him and his brother, Marcus, they let me keep my turntables and equipment at their crib. You know what I'm saying? And so, second semester, that's when the DJ Infamous started, man. I started doing Michigan parties because, in college, you clicked up. Everybody from St. Louis, everybody from Chicago, Michigan. So my boy Winston, he from Detroit. He started throwing these Cheddar Boy parties, and that's how I started getting the DJing. The next thing you know, I'm DJing that. Then I start doing school events. Then I get good with the SGA. Then they like, yo, we need a full-time DJ for all our school events. I said, oh, I'm here. So then I get that. And then I meet my boy Efeezy. He helps me get on the radio. Then I'm DJing all the fraternity parties, all the sorority parties. Next thing you know, Infamous in college is born. You know what I'm saying? And the youngest in
Let's
charge, I
go.
don't get that name yet. You know, I didn't get that name till I got to Atlanta, my first year in Atlanta.
So I don't even want to jump. So you're down there DJing the parties, right? You're
Yep.
blowing up. At that point, did you work with anybody in the industry yet at that point? Or that or
Yeah.
you were just in school?
Yeah, when I got on the radio, no, I'm on the radio, like not the college radio, the radio
In college.
in college.
Wow.
I'm not on the college station, I'm on the city station.
Let's go.
So from then on, like, I learned early. I learned early and quick. So after a certain point of my career in college, I started throwing my own parties with my boy DJ Efeezy. So what we started doing is we started, getting venues, throwing our own parties. We would book Little John, we would book Yin Yang Twins, we booked Little Flip, Crime Mob. We booked so many people that later on in life, when I told those artists those stories, they'd be like, "Oh, that was you," because it didn't from
It didn't register that
to later, they didn't understand. They didn't know. So that I got my foot in the industry real good when I got on the radio in Huntsville, Alabama. Then Def Jam and all these labels started calling me because I could play records. And next thing you know, I'm in college. Like this would be my schedule. I'll say on a Friday, this was my schedule. Go to class from 8 to 3 p.m. I think I had like 5 classes. Go to my work study job from 3:30 to 5:30. Go do the radio at 7 or 8, one of those, and then have a club at night. And I'm a student. And this is Friday, Saturday. This is Friday and Saturdays. I'm on the radio Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I had clubs like in college the clubs varies between Wednesday, Sunday, it just varies. But I'm cracking.
college night Wednesday a lot of times, yeah.
Man, listen, at this point, to be 18, 19, 20 in college, moving.
Living.
Man. Listen, I'm talking about as fast as I'm making the money, I'm blowing it. I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? If I made $1,000 in one party, that Sunday it was probably
You hitting the mall.
Mall. Like me and my boy Efeezy had this thing where every time we made a lot of money on the weekend, that Sunday we would go to Red Lobster and just eat crab legs. We'd be like bossing up, but like small level, you know what I'm saying?
Making it happen.
Yeah, we invite chicks like, yo, eat all the crab legs you want, get all the cheddar biscuits, whatever. Like the meal was only costing like $200-$300, which it's a lot for a kid, but that's how we was doing it. We thought we was Big Willie. We eating that Red Lobster. Who want to go? You know what I'm saying? And it was popping, man. It was some good times.
Man, that's fire, man. So my question is, so after that, now you in college, man, you got your name. People know Infamous. They booking you. You know what I'm saying? You on the radio, so people trying to break their record, so they on your head about it. Mm-hmm. When did you say, all right, I want to try to take it to a level of like getting signed maybe? I kind of want to do this as a career period. Like you were in school, but now you say I'm about to make this a career. At what age did you say I'm gonna make this a career and you made your first record? You actually broke your first record that Infamous actually put together.
The first record I broke when I got the first record I broke when I got to Atlanta was Kryptonite, Kryptonite Big Boy. You'd be like, I be on it all night, so I be on it. That was the first record I broke.
That's my joint.
That was the first record I broke. But you know what it was, man? Like it was okay. So again, let me backtrack real quick. Another conversation me and my mom had was, my mom, she'd ask me questions. My mom was a school teacher, so she'd ask me, she'd be like, yo, like when I wanted to stay in Lansing and I didn't want to go to college, she'd be like, yo, do you think you'll be as big staying here or you think you'll be bigger going somewhere else? And it made me kind of be like, what made her ask me that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when I thought about it, I was like, well, I'm 18 years old. I just did radio. I just did all the parties. I'm doing Michigan State parties. What else in Lansing could I do that I'm not already doing at 18?
And that's the problem. So when I think a lot of people run into.
That's when I really said, I'm out.
I'm out. Go.
What else was there? I couldn't. At that point, it was 99, 2000. There wasn't nothing that I couldn't think of at 18 that would make me I just couldn't think of nothing. So I bounced. You know what I'm saying? I get to college. Same thing. I'm there for 4 years. I graduate. And, my mom moves to Atlanta in 01. So when I'm going home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm going to Atlanta. I stopped going to Michigan unless my dad came down. And so my dad still stayed up there. But, I'm going, it's 3 hours. So do I want to drive 12 or do I want to drive 2.5, 3?
You go see Mom Dukes. Correct.
Yeah, so I'm going to see Mom Dukes, and then just the influence of Atlanta and seeing the music and everything. I'm like, oh, when I graduate, I'm definitely getting the fuck up out of Huntsville. I'm moving right over here. Right over here.
So you touched down in the A.
And that's what happened, bro. And again, I'm thinking ahead because you got to think like one, I made it out. 2, I got to transition to the next level, but how do I do it? So I always try to think ahead. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I intern, even though I'm on the radio in a different market, maybe if I intern at a radio station in Atlanta, when I graduate, it'll help me get in. But then I took a step further than that. I said, you know what? If I intern at a radio station in Atlanta and intern at a record label at the same time, it'll probably get me further.
That was smart. See, that was a jewel what you just said.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get the best of both worlds. So the summer before my senior year, I got an internship at V103, where I've been at for 16 years, and I got an internship at Disturbing the Peace Records owned by Ludacris.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So I get, Ludacris, and I'm not just saying this because I DJ for him. He was literally, Ludacris came out in 2000. He was my favorite rapper the whole way. So when I'm looking at record labels, I'm like, I got to intern at Ludacris's label. I looked at the record. It had Disturbing the Peace Records, and it had their office address and number. I called it.
Hold on, you have to say that again. So what did you do again?
On Ludacris's single, it had the name of the album. Name of the song, his name, and at the bottom it had Disturbing the Peace Records. It had the address and it had a number. I don't know what number it was. Promotions. I don't know who number. I just called it. It was like, yo, do y'all do internships? They was like, yeah. They was like, can you come for your interview tomorrow? Now, no, I'm in Alabama when this is conversation going down. I said, hell yeah. I drove 3 hours to take that interview and drove right back.
See, power moves. See, what you did was believe in yourself no matter what. You didn't let nothing stop. You didn't let the intimidation, the fear, or that's Ludacris. You're like, no, I'm infamous, and that's where I want to be at. And you made it happen, man. And that's why I wanted you to share your story with, because the youngest in charge part is what motivates me. Because when you were young, you seen it. We all seen it in you. You were working harder than everybody else, and to this day, you haven't stopped working, right? So now you're working with Luda. Things are shaking. You're moving and shaking. You're meeting people. You're working at V103. Tell us a little bit about that time in your life when everything started coming together, when dreams start coming true for real.
Oh, man. The dreams started coming true. Well, on the radio side, as soon as I got to Atlanta, man, I knew how to market myself. I was skinny. A lot of the DJs, in Atlanta are kind of heavy set. I had a good look, So I catered to chicks. Like I didn't cater to dudes, I catered to the chicks because one of my homies was like, yo, Infamous, you got a good look. You should market that. And I used it. And I was younger than everybody. I'm in Atlanta doing all these big parties and being on the radio. I'm 22, 23 years old. I'm young. Like the popular DJs had at least maybe 5 to 10 years on me. So I'm younger than everybody. So I'm moving and shaking. That was a dream come true in itself because V103 in Atlanta is like the top 10 market in the country. So period.
I'm down here, so I know.
Yeah. So everybody came there, and then when I became infamous in Atlanta, of course I started being around Ludacris and all of them because of I either DJ'd the album release party or I DJ'd his birthday party or DJ'd his Luda Day weekends in them early days. So as the radio's getting bigger, the whole team of Disturbing the Peace, artists, everybody, 2 Chainz, when he was down, everybody know who I am. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna front. The game changer was in 2011 when Ludacris he got rid of his old DJ and was looking for one. I already know I'm infamous at this point. Like I'm who I am. I'm my own person, my own entity.
Yeah.
And at the time, his management, Ludacris's management, managed Don Cannon. DJ Don Cannon. We stayed in the same, apartment complex. So and he's my son's godfather. He's my brother. So they was managing him at the time, and they asked him to take the gig, and they was like, nah. He was like, I just want to focus on producing, and I don't want to do the tour DJ thing. So then the next person in line was like, yo, what about Infamous? Now he was like, what about Infamous? And they was like, you think Infamous would leave, DJing the clubs and radio every day? It's a big thing. Like listen, from Jay-Z to Puffy to Kanye West to any artist you can name, I'm DJing everybody's party, everybody release party, everything from 2005 to current. You name a rapper. I don't care who you say. I'm doing everything. So but here's the thing though. From 2005 to the time of 2011, 6-7 years done passed, and I'm used to being the man, like in the radio in the club. I'm used to it. I'm good. I'm solidified.
Yeah.
But I ain't never traveled nowhere.
That's what I was gonna get to. But go ahead. Yeah.
I ain't never traveled nowhere. Like you gotta think like Memorial Day weekends, I'm in Atlanta because I gotta do all the big parties. Thanksgiving weekend, Christmas weekend, New Year's, 4th of July weekend, like all the weekends, Grammy weekends, all of that. I never really left. So when the Ludacris gig called, I said, hell yeah. I'm like, man, I ain't never been nowhere. I've been to Japan one time, but that was about it. So they told me, it was like, yo, they was like, Chris needs you to do the next 2 weeks of shows. We're doing 8 countries in 2 weeks. I said 8 countries? It's like, yeah, we got
8 countries
in 2 weeks.
That's how you started.
That's how I started. My first show with Ludacris was in Seoul, Korea. My second show was in Japan. Then after that was Singapore. Then after that was, dang, I can't even remember. It was like, it was. I remember that conversation. It was 8.
So let me ask you this question. So when you were overseas, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a moment when you looked around like, yo, I'm a kid from Lansing, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here overseas DJing for my favorite rapper. Have you ever had one of them aha moments when you were just like, dang, this is for real?
I had that moment I had that moment when they sent me my flight information. I get to the airport and we're checking in and Chris is right there. Now, I already know Chris. It's like, what up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know him already. But the DJing for him part, that's what had to sit in because I'm like, did this just really happen? Like, did years later from watching him in concert in 2000, 2001, being, just Ludacris fan, and then becoming the man in Atlanta, just radio and the clubs. I'm like, dang, did this really just happen? So I'm like, okay, maybe this is temporary. So the 2 weeks go by, then they keep calling me for more shows. Infamous, next week we got 5 shows here. The next week after that, we got 4 shows here. Now, I ain't even asked. Now, for the first 2 weeks, let me tell you something. When they told me the 8 countries in 2 weeks, I didn't even ask how much I was getting paid. I didn't even know what I was getting paid till them 2 weeks was over with.
What? So you just went off of just like, yo, this opportunity.
What? I just went like, what?
Yes, let's go.
I'm going. Let's go. Then they told me how much I was getting paid. Then I was like, they had to give me a lump sum of all them shows. So I'm like,
you was like, I can definitely do this. I can definitely do this.
Yo, look, I call promoters in Atlanta. I say, look, I'm taking this DJ gig, so some club dates I ain't gonna be there. Radio station, hey, listen, I'm taking this Ludacris gig. So like, I was on the radio 6 days, bro. I had to get.
I live in Atlanta and I know V103 because I listen to you, right? Yeah. So when you telling the truth, because you took a hiatus, it was like no Infamous for a while. Then you come back out of then you'll come back and you'll hit them hard. You be like, club. But then you'll take a break though.
Yeah, then but the times that you see me is when we didn't have no show. Or I didn't have a show of my own out of town. But other than that, like, look, every time Ludacris had a concert somewhere, 9 times out of 10, I had an after party. So I was getting paid twice. And the after party was off me and my manager at the time, off our hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd get a show, and then I'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna be there." Hit a promoter, like, "Yo, I'm in town." They'd be like, "Oh, you're already gonna be here?" Bet.
Yeah, that's right.
So we was cooking like that, and the reason why Chris respects me to this day is because now I ain't no crush. I go get my own. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he does be like, "Yo, if you need something, I got you." But you know why he does that? Because I don't never ask for nothing. I just do it. I don't ask Chris for nothing. You know what I'm saying? He offers.
That's why I think you did this for me, because of all the years I've known you, I've never asked really nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's genuine. It's like we at home. It's like you like, "Yo, Kyle, I got a podcast, I got a show, I want you to be on it." I'm not thinking nothing else past like, okay, D needs me on the show. Cool, let's do it.
Let's do it. So that goes into my next question, brother. A lot of people at home, man, have a very, very question. Everybody's like, is Infamous found anybody from back home that he think he can put on a verse, that maybe he can work with, that maybe he can put out there a break? Is there anybody from Lansing, Michigan that you think has enough talent or has enough work ethic? There's a lot of talent out there.
Yeah,
enough work ethic, you think that there's somebody that you could probably work with in the near future, or anybody you wanted to work with?
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna name these two, and I'm not being biased. I've just always been a fan of their work. You know what I'm saying? Before I get into the artists that's around now, well, one, Ward Skills. And I'm not being biased because he's my brother and he's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I just always thought he was dope, and I always thought that when I got to a certain position to put him on something, because Ward can write.
Yes, he
you know
can.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this too. Whether Ward wants to be the artist or he wants to ghostwrite, he's gonna do something on my album. Period. He's my brother. You know what I'm saying? We've been the times. Okay, the Richard Carter stories in my house. Ward's been right there. Ward has been right there the whole step of the way. From me having my setup in my bedroom, then changing it to the basement. Me and him making mixtapes at the house where I'm playing the beats and Ward's rapping. Like, Ward's been every step of the way, and Ward's younger than me. You know what I'm saying? He's the year and some change younger than me. So he's grown. Yeah, he's grown now, but he's like my little brother for real. Like, he's like my little brother for real, for real. You know what I'm saying?
You guys always look out for each other.
Yo, he's been with me every step of the way. The reason why I got on the radio in Lansing was because of Ward. And he's younger than me, yo. Like, Ward's put, like, the video footage I have of me in high school DJing or on the radio, Ward filmed all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Ahead of the game.
Dog, every parties and places I had to DJ, Ward's right next to me every step of the way, man. You know what I'm saying? If anybody has been with me, like through the beginning till now, he's been right there. So when it comes to, now I will say this. At the times, I felt like I was never in position to do it because I still had to break myself. You know what I'm saying? I felt like in the early days, it's like, how can I put on a new rapper when I don't have all the avenues? See, right now, I got all the avenues now. I got my own label. I can do whatever I want. I ain't got to answer to nobody. But when you got to answer to certain people, when you got to answer to certain people, it's harder. You know what I'm saying? And I've even explained that to Ward before. I'd be like, he's like, Cal, put me on. I'm like, it's kind of hard because, the people I got to the answer to, how can I tell them to make this, it was just hard. Now it's whatever. And Ward knows that. I talked to him about it and I said, whenever you want to do something or whatever, it's up to him. Chad Phillips is another one.
Yes, sir. I was just on the phone with him today. That's my brother.
Yeah. Again, when I talk about somebody that was in them basements with me and Ward, making those raps, making them mixtapes, practicing. Cal, can I come to the basement and rap over these beats? I'll record it. I'd scrap, whatever. Like, he can anytime. And I told him too. The same with him. There's no time limit on. Look, in today's age, there ain't no time limit, man. If you dope, you dope. Hell, Rick Ross didn't get on until he was 31, 32 years old.
Yeah,
And
that's
he,
another question I was going to ask you too, man. I was
you
like,
know
do
what
you
I'm
think
saying?
that there's expiration date? Why do you think that hip hop puts an expiration date on us like that?
Listen, I'm in this, man. Nah, it ain't no. Listen, Fat Joe is late 40s, and he still will put out a hit or a banging record.
Facts.
So, you know, and then going back to Lansing, like outside of those guys, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I've seen in the early days, I've seen cats that was really getting busy, but I'll say in my mid 20s, and I would be completely honest, I was so focused on myself. You got to understand, like I'm in Atlanta, man. The competition here is so high that I really didn't have time to focus on an artist as well. I'm talking about in my 20s because I've gotten these emails and I've gotten these calls before. You know, I've gotten all of it. But when you in Atlanta trying to be as big as DJ Drama, as big as Greg Street, like it's so much competition. I didn't have time to put any focus on it because if I put focus on an artist, that'll take focus away from myself. And I gotta be the biggest DJ because one, I am from Lansing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be the biggest DJ I could be. I wasn't focused on, putting on artists in my 20s. Now we get to my 30s. The reason why it gets blurry in my 30s, and I'm just explaining my
Oh
mindset.
yeah, yeah. Come on, let's talk.
Yeah, when it gets to my 30s, I'll say early 30s because I'm still in my 30s, but my early 30s, I get my record deals and traveling the world with Ludacris. Like it was so much going on that Ward would have to bring me in to let me know what was going on in Lansing as far as like tapping in with the music. You know what I'm saying? I only knew because Ward would keep me up to date with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest with you. Just everybody that's watching, look at it from my shoes. Now, every time I landed home in Atlanta, I'm still DJing the biggest parties, still on the radio heavy. Then when I'm not doing that, I'm traveling the world with Ludacris. I'm traveling on my own to different cities and stuff like that. And then I started getting kids and family and stuff like that. It's hard to just do all of that. If listen, when you got an artist, it's like having a kid. It's like having a kid.
Get it?
You gotta do everything for them. You gotta make sure they're on time. It's like it's real hard work. Like when people do that, yo, you the plug, put me on. That put me on is like, okay, so I gotta take for me to put you on, I gotta take something off my plate. I gotta take something off of my kids' plate, not financial. I'm talking about as far as time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the times, I just didn't have time for those. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't have time. And then I'm gonna say this too. Like I look at it like this: when Ward would put me on to Who's Buzzing and Popping, a lot of the times I see dope talent, but I'm gonna use myself as an example. Who's taking it to that next level? Like who's taking it to that next level? Then when I come home, and so Ward would be like, "Yo, this is who hot. This is who hot," and I'm going through neighborhoods and I'm asking. I wouldn't hear these names. I'd hear some of them, but then there'd be the riff where the radio doesn't support Lansing. Okay, but do the DJs support you? See, it ain't. It's the thing is, I used to get a lot of flack because of my position, and I'm from home. But my thing was this: I'd go home and ask the local DJs, the DJs you see every week, every month, that's in these clubs, are they supporting you? Is your neighborhood behind you? Matter of fact, is your next door neighbor behind you? Are they supporting you? Is the neighborhood supporting you? Like, it can't just be everybody hating. No, everybody ain't. Listen, listen. When I was coming up, I used to see Crime Mob doing it on their own, getting their records played. I see Mad Moan. He had a record, My Scandalous Baby Mama. He wasn't on no major record label. He got his record played on the radio, and he was out doing shows. He was acting. A lot of these artists from when I was in high school, they was going from Lansing to Flint to Detroit to Saginaw to Grand Rapids back to Lansing. Let's start there. It's markets. It can't just be Infamous ain't doing nah. When I come home, If you hot, I gotta hear it. It can't just be me saying you hot. Like, and the reason why I would act like that is because, yo, you know what? I can't do, for me, this is for me. I can't do no more here in Lansing. I'm gonna leave and get it popping somewhere else. I'm in Huntsville. I can't do no more here in Huntsville. I'm gonna leave.
I'm going to Atlanta. Yeah.
I'm moving to Atlanta. So if being home doesn't work for you, what's making you not want to venture out? What's making you not want to, you know, not every, and let's be clear, I'm not rich when I made these decisions. I went from infamous in college, having money every week, to moving to Atlanta, going back and living with my mama. Money then ran out. I'm not the man in Atlanta. I had to go back to live with my mom's, which I had a 3-bedroom apartment in Huntsville in college. Like, I had a 3-bedroom apartment and I'm in college, man.
Yeah.
And then had to
People
go back to my mom's house. So my thing is like if I could do it with two nickels, not 2 pennies to rub together, why can't the artist? You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, that's how I look at it. So when people used to diss me from home, I just knew that I never took an offense because I just knew they didn't know what they was talking about, or they didn't understand what it took, man. The struggle was real, man. Like, the struggle is real, man. And again, in Michigan, everybody's not a hater. You got Flint, Saginaw, Detroit, Grand Rapids, and cities go on. So everybody's a hater. Everybody.
Yeah.
And then if you can't make it there, go to a city that's more musically inclined. And
basically what you're trying to say is, you know what I'm saying, if it's not working where you are, you might just have to go to another location to make it shake. Because that's what you did. You're just giving your life experience. Like, every time things stopped shaking for me, or I felt a ceiling, I went to the next location. When I felt that ceiling again, I got to move on. You know what I'm saying? So that's some really good advice that you gave.
Yeah, or like, okay, say it's not popping in Lansing. Go to Detroit. Detroit always had music scenes up and down. Go to Detroit. If we're talking about going to the next big city that you could do something in, and let's say you can't move too far, Detroit is only an hour away.
Facts.
Everything can't be on me to just pick somebody. Hey, let's go. It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. If it worked like that, then I'd be bigger than what I am. If it worked just that easy. You feel me?
I don't know how much bigger can you get though, bro? That's be
real. Oh, man, so much more, man.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. There's talent in Lansing, but you can't. But this whole, somebody ain't put me on. Somebody ain't. Nah, man, I'm not going for that, man. If you want it, you're gonna do everything in your power to go get it. And if
nobody gonna stop you.
1, you're not gonna stop. 2, you're not gonna let nobody discourage you. And 3, if you love it, you gonna continue doing it. Because I'm gonna tell you, I got videos of me being in my mama. I got videos of me being in my mama garage DJing. When I moved back in with my mom, I had to put my DJ equipment in the garage next to her Lexus, next to her car.
Humbled.
And I had a 3-bedroom apartment. Ward lived with me. You know what I'm saying? We was living together. And I had to go back to mom's crib. So it wasn't nobody put me. Nah, I work for mine, man. You work for yours too. And the thing is, it's more respected. You know what I'm saying? It's more respected then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the first 2 artists I named, of course, man, listen. Ward and Chad was with me in them struggle days, man. They was there. So if and I've talked to Ward about this. If they wanted to do something now at this point, I control. Listen, I own my own record label. I own my masters. I do whatever I want. I ain't got to answer to nobody.
And them is 2 super talented brothers I've been working with forever. You know that. I've been producing records for them since we was youngins.
Exactly.
My guys.
And then look at the consistency, man.
Yeah.
Chad, he ain't never stopped rapping.
Chad right now is doing better than he's ever done. And it could have been opposite. He's doing better than he's ever done right now.
Let me tell you what Ward did. Ward, thinking ahead, he was like, yo, you know what? Okay, yeah, I want to continue this artist thing. But he took it a step further. He was like, yo, as much as I want to be an artist, as much as I want to rap, do all this stuff, I also see that there's a void in Lansing. There's no outlet. So you know what Ward does?
Created an outlet.
He created an outlet. And I don't even know why people don't. No, I take that back. A lot of people do know he did that. He created an outlet to where he even opened my eyes. Like, I'm like, oh, he got on the radio. 96.5.
He had us on 88.9.
Huh?
Going up, he had me and Chad going up on D Double going up to 88.9 when we was in high school.
The reason why I got on the radio is because Ward took me up there.
Yeah.
And we got the and I thank Ward for filming that whole experience. He created an outlet. He got on 96.5. Then he got his own platform at LCC Radio. And then you know what he's doing? I'm gonna tell you something. Ward don't call me for no artist. He don't call me for, you know what he does? He puts on everybody in the city, the local, Detroit, like people around the mitten. He putting them on. Yeah. He ain't calling me, yo, you think you can get me a Luda interview? You think you can get me? He ain't doing that. You know what he focused on? The crib. There's talent right here in the crib. I'm focusing on the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you look at that, that was needed.
Man, was it ever? I'm so glad we had the opportunity to discuss this topic because it's something for years that people had questions on, probably years you wanted to get off your chest. You probably just wanted to like lay the record. Like, let me just say this to my friends, family, and people from my hometown. I wanted to give you this platform and opportunity, man, to say your piece. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a very busy man, and most people don't get a chance to hear from you.
Yeah, man. Because and then like I remember the first couple times I got on TV, man. People was talking to me like I'm Puffy or something. Like they think I'm super duper rich. They think I could put on anybody in the world, and like it don't work like that. Like when I get on, I still got to get to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? And I had to use what I had to get on. And I don't mean like just because you see me on TV. Just because you see somebody on
there
TV.
There he is.
Just because you see somebody on TV does not mean they rich. Does not mean they made it. None of that. Those are looks. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've made it now, but I put some work in. You know what I'm saying? I put some real work in. And then, you know, you got to think, man, we come from Lansing, Michigan. You either going to complain or you going to help. You either going to complain or you going to help. Ward helped. Ward ain't complained. Listen, and again, outside of business and music, Ward is my real brother. Like sometimes I got to stop referring to him as little brother, but he is. I don't got no brothers. So he's it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And, you know, Ward can do no wrong in my eyes, man. So, you know, if he want to write, perform, whatever, I mean, it's on. He can do whatever he want.
Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it here first on Destined for Greatness podcast.
Let me say one more thing too. You know who else has been consistent on my line? Has been very consistent.
Talk to me. And
doing what they actually say they gonna do. And I ain't gonna front. Sometimes I'm not able to see every message. I'm not able to be so responsive. He don't get frustrated. He just keeps being consistent. And that's Eric Rutledge.
Okay. Shout out to Sos.
My bad. Sos, yeah. But I mean, but again, consistent. Yo, and let me tell you this too. Have a plan. Y'all, let me tell you something. Now, I ain't really kick it with him growing up. I think like we went to Rich together, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really bump. You know, he in the streets. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? He was in the streets, and I'm not. So we ain't come up like that. But when, you know, he's like, I guess he got out of jail. He was he's like, yo, we from the crib. You know, he was serious about rapping. You know, he had a plan. He said, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So when people tell me they're gonna do something, I sit back and see if they gonna actually
do it. Yeah.
I remember I threw a party at Gregory's, and you know, he had been DMing me for a couple of months, and then he seen me, he stepped to me, and I told him, you know, I'm like, yo, you really want to get it, you know, just all you gotta do is show me, man, because at the end of the day, I can't waste my time. You know what I'm saying? I can't waste my time, and I ain't gonna front. He's been consistent, hitting me and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, shout out to Ward for saying that too. Like, again, Ward could complain, he could have did whatever, but he didn't do that. He saw a void and he said, you know what? Let me put on for my city. and let me do something that's not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, after a while, I'm seeing Ward get all these rappers, and he's doing interviews where, you know, at 96.5 you wasn't gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It got to the point where I don't even be tripping about that station. You know, I just hit Ward. You know, I just hit Ward for it. You know, he has the platform, is laid, and he has respect. That's another thing too. Whether you're rapping,
question I had to ask you.
You gotta have respect, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to ask Ward, I'm like, yo, how you? And I've had to think about it, like, yo, it's Ward. It's Ward skills. He has respect.
So my question to you, how have you maintained so many good relationships? Because you spoke on relationships and has respect. How have you gained so much respect and have such good relationships with all of these people for so long? Because you started young and you haven't slowed down and lost momentum. So how have you maintained so many good relationships?
Being myself. Look, I'm from South Side of Lansing, Michigan, where, you know, I went to Sexton High School, where as soon as you walk in, you got to be able to roast. You got to be able to joke, get joned on, and all that other stuff. The same way I was back then is the same way I am now. I have not changed. I had one cocky year. That was probably 08, 09. No, about 08, because I felt like, you know, making real good money. I'm the youngest in charge. I got chicks everywhere. You know what I mean? Maybe like 07, 08 was my cockiest years of, if you want to just say. You know what I mean? That's probably
just
my
feeling yourself like, yeah, I'm doing this.
Yeah, right. 07 and a little bit of 08. Yeah.
All right, man. I only got like a few, man. I don't want to hold you up because you know the game is on fire. You probably want to do your thing, but I got two great ones.
Good.
So let's talk about some big things, man. How does it feel? Like, there's two big events that you did that you probably would never forget. Yeah. How did it feel the day that you did the Super Bowl?
Man, that was you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, and no, I'm not. You know, I ain't gonna front. I was cool with it because I think at that point I kind of did everything, man. Like I didn't kind of been around who I could think of, and I didn't did some big stuff, man. Like the Super Bowl was dope. It was fun, you know what I'm saying? But it was like another.
But it probably wasn't this right here, though. It probably wasn't this question right here. What about them two versus battles that you were a part of history?
Oh man,
the first one about the Jeezy and the Gucci one first.
Yeah, now that was amazing because, you know, I was here in the middle of all that in 2004 and 5. Like, I'm talking about where if I played a record of Gucci Mans and CTE, Jeezy Kemp was in there, it could have been a problem. Matter of fact, it's been some problems, and then vice versa. If I'm playing some Jeezy records and Gucci Man Camp or he's in there, you know, it used to really go down. Like, I ain't never got touched. I ain't never had nothing like that, but it's been close to where it could have. And the fact that now the only time I've seen them two in the same room, I've seen them in the same room maybe 3 times in life. 2 of them, those times nobody knows about. The first time was the So Icy, I'm Icy. I was at that video shoot.
Okay.
I was nobody then, but I was there. So but just to see both of them in the same building in a club that I've DJ'd at for 15 years, that was amazing. That was
amazing. You hosted the after party, man. So that's what what was the tension like in there, man? Was everybody in there having a good time? Because they ended on a good note watching it.
It ended on a carry on. The energy was all of that. When I'm playing each other's record, his record, the energy was all good. There was no tension that night.
Yeah, everybody you was also a part of the Nelly Ludacris battle.
Yeah,
you're one of the first ones, man. When I seen you pop up, and I was like, "There's my guy." I seen you pop in, like, "Yeah, I'm back here, y'all."
I was playing the music, man. I had to get Nelly.
Yeah, you were.
Because that people were saying, "Oh, Luda, you know, he got hits, but he don't got as many as now." I'm like, "What? Are you crazy?" Like, all right, watch this. Had to get Nelly up out of there, man.
That's what it is, man. Bro, you coming on the platform today, man. We have so many people here, man. Yeah. I love this interview. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. People are so happy to see you and me together working, man. I appreciate you for showing me the love, bro, and coming on here. It was hassle-free. So I'm letting you know right now. I don't know what perception you might have of my brother right here, but I can tell you a moment that you just shared with me last summer. I seen you at the nightclub. I just came out just to see you, but you didn't know that. I ain't come out to kick it. I just you was on the radio. I'm gonna be at the compound. I'm gonna see my brother real quick. So I take a couple of my homies. They don't know I know you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I see you standing over there with Big Tig. I just look at you. I don't say nothing. I just stare at you for a minute like, you went, D Woods, my guy. You put me back to the back. And the love that you showed me, this is what you did for me. I would never forget this moment that you did for me, man. You said, I got something for you. I was like, what's that? You said, I got a set for you. Stay for my set. You got on the set, man. You put them headphones on. You said, Woods, you ready? 3, 2, 1. That's my dog. Yeah. You had the club rocking, man. You played like 5 records for me, man. You show love from people from Lansing, so we squashing that right now.
Yeah, I always
this show right here proved it.
And let me tell you, that was another reason why I did DJ Infamous Weekend. To bring us together. I tell people this I've been doing Infamous Weekend for 6 years, and I always said I wanted Infamous Weekend to feel like the BET Awards weekends in all these cities, or All Star Weekend, or Floyd Mayweather weekend. I wanted my weekend to feel like that.
Let's talk about it.
My thing was this. I was like, yo, why aren't we doing stuff together? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for everybody 30 and older, I'll be like, yo, what's popping tonight? Every time I come home, like, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I ain't doing nothing.
Nobody would go nowhere. And we had the clubs. This when the clubs was out open. And I thought to myself, I'm like, yo, why every time I come home, everybody that's my age or my peers always talking about not doing nothing. I don't want to go out because the young people be going crazy. So no, I don't know these things until Ward tell me. And so I thought to myself, I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, dang. So I'm in my basement and I'm just going through old pictures, and it's a picture of Squeak and Kevin Lee. So then I'm like, now no, in 2010 we did like a little alumni game, just do it together. So, but then I was like, dang, what if I really, really, really did a Sexton versus Everett alumni game and went and got all the ballers from that weekend and you know what I'm saying, and do like a party with it and all that. So I'm thinking like that. I'm like, yo, this would be killer if I could get the stars from Everett, the stars from Sexton, and put them in a game. Because at this point, the basketball games, people don't come out.
Dying off. They're not nothing like we were
died
at
off.
all.
And I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I couldn't wait to get
I just had the two new varsity I had the new varsity coaches on here. We changed that this year.
I was like, all right, I was already doing some parties with Jay Smooth. And I hit Jay Smooth, was like, yo, I want to do this. Jody was very helpful in players, getting the gym, everything.
Big Jody.
The D Jones, the exactly same thing. So I got with those guys because I'm like, we all do different stuff. The 4 of us were together, but we all do different things. And then Ward's platform was so big, you know what I'm saying? I told Ward, I'm like, well, Ward, you with me. I need you to help me do this, that, and the third. Ward, I need you to spread the word. Like, I was going on Ward's page, and I'm like, yo, how do you get this many interactions like every morning and during the day?
That dude is hilarious.
I had to look at him like, Ward, you get this many conversations in your comments. Like, I'm infamous. I don't even get this. You know what I'm saying? So then I pull Ward in, to help me with the marketing, help me get the word out, help me do this, help me do that. You know what I'm saying? Ward is like my backbone to help me with the whole shit too. So we all get together, and then we do the first Infamous Weekend. Here's the thing.
You froze, Inf. I'm not sure what happened, bro, but go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect still, though, but you're frozen. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'll keep talking.
Yeah, we can hear you, though, man. We can hear you.
So, the Infamous Weekend goes by. No violence. This was at a time where it was a lot of violence. No violence. I put an age gap on it because I want to make sure everybody that's 30 and up is cool, safe, have fun. It was a lot of violence in Lansing at this time. And shout out to Jermaine, let me get my first DJ Infamous at his club. We packed the gym out at Sexton. And you see me?
No, I had to do that. It worked. I was trying to bring you back. Did it? It did work for a second.
Everybody was thinking like the money and proceeds in our pockets. Like, nah, man, we gave that money back to the schools. Like, check this out. when you hear that the freshmen and sophomores football teams equipment is damn near worn out to where you can't even put it on, or they got the oldest helmets and the jerseys are this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, who want to play in games like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
books,
I mean, it's not fun doing that.
Books are old as hell. Like, who wanna do that? That ain't what's up. I'm gonna give back. If I'm gonna do a DJ Infamous weekend, we gonna give back. And that's what we've been doing for 6 years. We've been giving back to schools. The schools that we went to, that's what we've been giving back to. You know what I'm saying?
And do you have a refresh on it? I think if you refresh, we're gonna be back in the game, bro.
All right, hold on 1 second.
I lost him, but he's all right. He's going to come right back on, y'all. In his meantime, I'm going to play one of his records, man, until he jumps back on here, man. We ain't done yet. Oh, he's back already. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get him. There we go.
We good?
Yes, we back, man. Let's go back in.
Yeah, and that's what we doing, man. DJ Infamous is for everybody 30 and older to get out the house, have a good time, right? And the reason why I put an age on it, because I don't want no violence at my party. If I figure if you're 30 and older, you pretty much you ain't got that rah-rah in you, for the most part. But it's to have a good time. The basketball games, the bowling, all that is to give back to charity or give back to our schools. That's what I've been doing the whole 6 years.
Man, you've been doing so much with charity, giving back to the boys club. Everything that you're doing, man, is highly respected. And I'm so thankful, like I said, I have you on, man. Like I said, we're having technical difficulties, but that don't even matter because we still chopping it up, right?
Right, exactly.
Yo, man, so is there anything else that you want to get out there, man? Because, you know what I'm saying? I know I went over my time. I told you I was going to hold you. I appreciate you for staying.
No, you good, fam. We good. All I want to say is, man, if there's something that you want to do, go do it. Like, one thing, I'm going to tell you one thing I didn't do. From age 12, when I got them turntables from Cutting Ice to now, I ain't care about what nobody said. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, critiquing me, yeah, because if I needed work, yeah. Constructive criticism, yeah. But other than that, I didn't let nobody discourage me from what I wanted to do. And I'm a prime example that I've been doing the same thing I've been wanting to do since I was 12, and I've been doing it.
And you definitely have, man. And that's why I definitely want to give you your roses while you're here, man, with us. And everybody in the city right now, man. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to come check out my man Infamous. Shout out to Chadwick Niles Phillips. He's in the building. Shout out to War Skills. Shout out to DJ J Leak is in the building. My wife Katrina is in the building. Michael Royal's in the building. You know what I'm saying? Josh Franklin's in the building. I'm telling you, man, everybody showed up for you, man. Nobody here is here to hate on you. My boy Jose's even in this boy. He didn't know you till I introduced you. Now you got a new fan, man. So the whole point is we can't see you right now because I refuse to lose, man. Hold on, you back? You see, look.
Yeah, there we go.
See? You see how my God is good? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't let nothing stop me, man. Even if we freeze again, we're gonna be good because we wrapped it up. Yeah. So I'm gonna go out with one of your music videos, man. We're gonna turn this thing up. Everybody, shout out my man DJ Infamous. Give him a hand right now for showing up for us. Lansing's own is in the building right now. You know what I'm saying? And he's showing love. And he said he's going to work with the city, man. Part time, he had to get his things together. He said, how can I take care of y'all if I ain't taking care of me?
Exactly.
Right? I got to make sure that I'm straight so we good. You know? So, and I respect that. So with that being said, Infamous, thank you, brother, for coming on. You always are welcome. If you have a record to break, you got something you want to get off your chest and talk, Destined for Greatness podcast is open up for you, my brother.
Oh, no doubt. Appreciate it, bro. I'm going to definitely be back anytime, bro. Real talk.
This sounds good, man. So now I'm about to go into one of your records, man. Which one you want me to play, man? Which one you want me to play?
Play my first video I ever came out with, Itching. That was the first video.
Talking about the one with Future?
Yeah, going to that.
I'm itching. They itching for the let's go. Let me get this. That's not the one I had, but I'm gonna get it up for you. You know what I'm saying? You surprised me with that. That's why I asked you before we got on.
Or whatever your favorite is, or whatever you want to.
No, you said that one. That one. This is if Infamous said that. That's what we rocking with.
All right.
Okay, man. You and Future. And so, how did this record even come about?
Man, again, early Future, early Mike Will Made It, and early Infamous, man. We we's all homies, man. And I was helping Future break his music, and You know, he was the homie. You know what I'm saying? So when word got around that, you know, I was gonna put my first record together, you know, homies was like, yo, Inf, we got you. Let's get in the studio, put it together, and that's how it came about.
Man, that's dope. So we about to jump right into it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, my brother Infamous, for tuning in. Hey, y'all, we out of here, man.
Love, bro.
Love, man. Let's go into this music video.
All right.
Itching by DJ Infamous.
Mike, what's going on, fool? Just trying to make sure everything good over there.
What up, baby? You're a superstar now, man. Hey, you gotta watch how you move, man.
I'm checking everything out right now, man. Sure, that's straight. Pull up.
I'm not trying to tell you how to move, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta move a little smarter out here. You feel me? You know, you got fans watching, you got your haters watching. Hey, bro, you got the feds watching, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm in that Bentley thing right now for the switch up.
You gotta watch how you move out here in the streets, you know? Be itching, you know?
For that paper,
I'm gonna change clothes and see you in a minute, you know what I'm saying? You still gonna meet me at the Flame, right?
Yeah, I'll meet you up there.
All right, let's get it. All right.
DJ Infamous.
Mike Will Made.
This the national anthem for everybody getting paper. Hood to hood. Block to block. Hey, Future. Talk to me. Hey, my mama said, fuck it, nigga, hit the streets and live. Got some crack in the corner and I did what I did. The neighbors, they don't like me. I got J's at the door. Told my grandma I don't need a bed. I'm sleeping on the floor. Got my tool in my blow. They're my two main hoes. Me and all my walls stick together like the Zoes. South by say who got the yay for the love. And I keep birds with me like I'm straight out Holly Grove. They itching for the pipe. My fingers, they itching for the pipe. I'm riding around the city, and I got that calculator. I'm a motherfucking monster when it come to get that paper. Hey, my fingers, they itching for the pipe. My fingers, they itching for the piper. I'm riding around the city, and I got my calculator. I'm a motherfucking monster when it come to get that paper. Hey.
Pay Itchy a visit, right?
Itchy always get paid on time.
Yeah, I can hear barking out there, so I know you straight.
There's somebody moving around, you know how I be.
See, there they go right there, man. They circling around the house. They pulling up now.
You know what to do when you leave here, right?
Of course, man, no problem.
Let's win.
They itching for the pipe. My fingers, they itching for the pipe. I'm riding around the city, and I got that calculator. I'm a motherfucking monster when it come to get that paper. Hey, my fingers, they itching for the pipe. My fingers, they itching for the piper. I'm riding around the city, and I got my calculator. I'm a motherfucking monster when it come to get that paper. I'm a dog. And I eat that dog food, I'm a G. I put red on all my shoes, come and see. My life familiar got Peru, and I plead. Not guilty until proved. Got more birds in the zoo, got chickens in the coop, got shots instead of shoot. And I stay on DJ Screw. When you drop it, they coming back like DJ Clue. I make a profit. I can go and buy
Destined for greatness.
I'm an A1,
Let's go.
Free bang ain't put you on the news. Then hit blue flame, shoot pool.
Shout out to Infamous. Talk to me.
I put a
Appreciate you, big dog.
like payment and do. I'm rapping dope to you.
Hey, they hit you.
They itching for the pipe. My fingers, they itching for the pipe. I'm riding around the city, and I got that calculator. I'm a motherfucking monster when it come to get that paper.
They itching. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. What a wonderful show we had today, man. We had my brother come through. He held us down, man, for over an hour. He said, man, Woods, I got like 45 minutes, man. He went over a whole nother 30. That's the type of love we showing. Thank you for every single person that tuned in today, man. We turned up. I ain't going nowhere right no time soon. I might just play another Infamous joint if y'all want to see one, man. Make sure y'all tune into the show Thursday. I'm going to switch it up for you, man. I have one of the very, very special guests on Thursday. The first black school board member in my county will be on my show. She said, Devin, I want you to be my first interview after I get elected. So yeah, we switching it up. We're going to talk about these kids and this COVID the next show. But thank y'all for tuning into this one. And you know it's your boy Woods, man. So I'm going to play another one of Infamous joints just because y'all watching. And it's the Infamous winning day today. Let's go. I got to turn up again. It don't matter which record I play. This man got hits. I'm going to play this one. Let's go. Another one. Let's turn up, y'all. Hey.
Getting me blocks like the Kimber. I got me more blocks than the Kimber. I got me more blocks than the Kimber. I got me more blocks than the Kimber.
Talk to me. Fuck what you think? I fuck with them niggas that's sipping and drinking, smoking that loud. Getting so my money, I should just live in a bank. I whip it like Kante. It's Deep Saint Laurent's day. It might be a Benz day. I got me more blocks than the can back. I got me more blocks than the can back. Hey, okay. I got me more blocks than the can back. Hey, okay. I got me more blocks than the can back. Hey, okay. I got me more blocks than the can back. Hey, okay. Did it for the summer, married to the game, smoking marijuana. If you fuck my baby mama, then it's fuck my baby mama. I see death around the corner, so I bust a U.S. You need popcorn for this movie. I've been a grown man since June. Might spit on a nigga like a Luke. As a matter of fact, you gon' need a fat machine. Pocket so fat, I'ma need a racks machine. I say, Lord have mercy. Niggas so thirsty. I'm riding around with a Friday hoe, not Joe hoe, cause she's so thirsty. That old news, put it in the house for the cold blue.
Let's go.
Get on Pro Tools and I ride a motherfucker like an old school. The bitches I'm with it so bad, she ain't okay. I'm whipping that work at your glass. It's A-okay. I'm getting that chips, turning that shit into Frito-Lay. Fill up the room, I told her she owe me like 6 to 8. Shit and me, better get your shit straight. Been had $1 million. Made it off a mixtape. Oh, fuck what you think? I fuck with them niggas that sipping and drinking, smoking that loud. Getting so my money, I should just live in a banking. I whip it like Kante. It's Deep Saint Laurent's day. It might be a Benz day. I got me more blocks than they can back. I got me more blocks than they can back.
Hey. All right, y'all. We out of here, man. I had a bunch of fun. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like y'all did too, man. So guess what? I want to say peace. Love y'all. All right, man. I'm having too much fun. I gotta go, man. I'm out.